It's 10 at night. We're stuck working overtime. The boss suddenly sent a message in the group chat. If I don't make it back to the office within an hour, call the police right away. The three of us stared at the message, utterly confused. Wang Qiang, our new coworker, spoke up first. Didn't the boss say he stepped out to grab late-night snacks? Why send us a weird message like this out of nowhere? Is this some kind of prank? No way, the boss is always dead serious. He'd never joke around about stuff like this. Then Liu Meng picked up his phone and said, I've got an idea. I'll ring the boss to find out what's going on. We all agreed instantly. Once the call connected, before Liu Meng could utter a word, we heard the boss's frantic, gasping breaths on the line. No matter who knocks at the door, do not open it for anyone. The line went dead right after. Liu Meng tried dialing him back, but the call wouldn't go through. What on earth is happening? Maybe we should call the police now. I picked up my phone and dialed emergency services. I explained everything that had just unfolded. The dispatcher said officers would arrive in 10 minutes. But the second I set my phone down, someone started banging hard on the office door. All of us tensed up immediately. The boss warned us never to open the door. None of us dared move an inch. Who's out there? Quit knocking nonstop. It's me, Gao Xiang. Hurry up and open this door. Gao Xiang was another one of our co-workers. He'd stepped out a moment earlier to use the restroom. I unlocked and pulled the door open for him. What's wrong with you three? Why wouldn't you let me in? And why was the door even locked? What shady stuff were you all doing in here? We were equally confused by this point. We only ever lock up once work finishes for the day. Somehow it had latched shut automatically today. Right at that moment, the boss sent another message to the group chat. Do not let anybody step foot inside the office. I only just saw the group message now, so that's why you refused to open up for me. I bet this is just a dumb prank. Do I look like some dangerous criminal to you? But what about the boss's panicked gasping on the phone? He sounded like he was running for his life. Quit overthinking it. Everything will make sense once he gets back. I had no choice but to nod my head. The next second, the boss messaged me privately. Chenjai, keep this between us. I'm messaging you one-on-one. Did you let anyone into the office? Boss, I just let Gao Xiang inside. It's a disaster. Gao Xiang is the assailant. From this second onward, protect yourself at all costs. But you cannot step a foot outside the office. Why? Wouldn't staying in here put me in even more danger? I waited and waited for a reply. But the boss never wrote back again. Moments later, knocks echoed at the door once more. Open up right now. This is the police. Did someone here place an emergency call? Liu Meng stepped forward and pulled the door open. A single officer stood out in the hallway. Yet he made no move to come inside. He only questioned Liu Meng from the threshold. I stared hard at this supposed cop. Something felt deeply off about him. Don't police always send out teams of 2 or more on calls? Why is there only one guy here? Alright, I've got the basics of what happened. Walk me outside so I can check the scene. Then the two of them headed out into the hallway. It wasn't long before the fake officer returned alone. Shenjie, you come out too? I need to take your statement as well. By now, I was fully convinced he was an imposter, so I quickly made an excuse. You can come inside to ask me questions instead. I've got files pulled up on my computer. See if they help with your investigation. Understood? Step outside with me first. Then I'll come in to look at your computer. I wore a troubled, hesitant look. Who is this man, really? Why refuses to set foot in this room? I redialed the official police hotline right away. Hello? This is the person who called in the report earlier. Have you dispatched officers to my location yet? We sent out 2 patrol officers. They should still be en route to your building. My heart skipped a beat in terror. That man out front was definitely a fake cop. I watched him crack an eerie, cold grin. Then he hurried off down the hall. Chenji, what the hell is going on here? That guy was impersonating law enforcement. I'm afraid Liu Meng might already be hurt. Gao Xiang, go stand by the door and listen for noises outside. I'll explain everything once you're back. Gao Xiang immediately walked over to the doorway. I leaned in and whispered to Wang Qiang. The boss said Gao Xiang is the dangerous assailant. I suspect the fake cop is his accomplice. From now on, stay sharp and alert. And whatever you do, do not step outside. Walkyo nodded solemnly. Gao Xiang strolled back over a moment later. It's totally quiet out there. Looks like those guys took off for good. What did you figure out? Spit it out already. That fake cop acted really strange. He refused to cross the threshold the whole time. He only stood out in the hallway, which makes me think we're safe inside this office. But why couldn't he come in at all? I have no clue about that part. We'll wait for the real police to sort everything out. Everyone nodded in agreement. Yet we waited a full 30 minutes, and no officers ever showed up. I dialed emergency services once again. We already dispatched officers to your address earlier. Someone at your location spoke with them, and said the situation had been resolved. Why are you calling back again now? A cold wave of dread washed over me. Someone impersonated me to send the real police away. Almost certainly one of Gao Xiang's accomplices. Could you please send another unit over right now? We're in genuine life-threatening danger here. Make sure they come straight inside the office. Our patrols are tied up with another active case at the moment. Here's what we'll do. I'll assign a different team to head your way. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your help. Once I hung up the phone, I glanced sideways at Gao Xiang. A flash of anger flickered across his face. In an instant, his expression smoothed back to normal. You said we just can't leave the room, right? Can we at least crack the door open to check outside? I refused to answer his question. But Wang Qiang volunteered to walk to the entrance. He pulled the door ajar and peered out into the hall. Not a single soul anywhere. Looks totally safe out here. So can we head out now? We can't hide cooped up in this room forever. If bad guys show up, we can always dart back inside quickly. Yeah, instead of waiting around to get attacked. We should take initiative. With that, Wang Qiang stepped cautiously out the door. He stood still for a few seconds to test the area. See? Nothing bad's happening at all. You two hurry on out too. Gao Xiang followed him out into the hallway. Chenji, come join us outside. Stop scaring yourself over nothing. I ignored his calls entirely, and slammed the office door shut and locked it tight. Only I received that private warning message from the boss. That means the other two can't be trusted. Plus, the boss explicitly marked Gaoxiang as the culprit and ordered me not to leave this room. I couldn't wrap my head around why Gaoxiang hadn't struck yet, or why leaving the office was such a deadly risk. But trusting the boss's instructions was my safest bet. All I could do now was wait for genuine police backup. Soon enough, the pair started pounding on the door again. I made no move to answer them. Before long, the knocking died away completely. Right then the boss called my cell phone. Chenji, I'm heading back to the building now. I ran into a group of assailants when I went out for snacks earlier. That's why I sent messages while fleeing for my life. Sorry for the delayed replies. Kaoxiao and Wang Xiu are working together, and they've got multiple other accomplices. Their plan is to kill all of us, then steal all the cash locked in the company's safe. I'll explain every detail once I get inside. I breathed a huge sigh of relief after hearing this. I sank down into my chair to catch my breath for a moment, but replaying the night's events in my head, a horrifying realization hit me. Something's not right. If what the boss said was totally true, why hadn't they just killed me straight away? Why waste all this time putting on an elaborate act? A critical piece of the puzzle clicked into place suddenly. I quickly pulled up public records for our company online, but I sent cold sweat pouring down my back. Half an hour later, the boss finally arrived outside the office door. Chenji, we're safe now. Police have arrested Gaoxiang and his crew. Come with me to the station to give your statement. Sure, step inside first. I've got a few key details to run by you. Quit stalling? We can talk as we walk. Boss, why won't you cross the threshold into the room? Is it that you physically cannot come in at all? The boss froze completely at my question. Then he twisted his face into a cold smirk. I spotted his arm had mutated and twisted abnormally. Huh? How did you figure it out? I looked up the company's background information just now. Your father was the original founder and owner. He died in a supposed accident 1 year ago. Autopsy records show a beast tore his throat clean open and drained every drop of his blood. Our business specializes in silver jewelry export trade. Silver is a fatal weakness for vampires, so I suspect your father was killed by a vampire. Once you inherited the company, you became their next prime target. They ambushed you when you left the building tonight. You messaged me while you were running away, but they caught up to you in the end. The reason none of the vampires can enter this office is your father warded the whole space with a protective barrier. Gaoxiang was allowed inside because he's only a human servant to the vampires. He hasn't been fully turned into a vampire himself. Am I correct on all counts? Truly my sharpest, most capable employee. You've pieced together every detail perfectly. The original vampire lord spared my life and transformed me into one of their kind. His grand plan is to convert every silver industry business owner to wipe out their greatest natural enemy for good. You've only 2 paths laid out before you now. 1, join our coven. 2, starve trapped alone inside this office forever. Very well. I'm willing to work alongside you, but please don't turn me into a vampire. I want to hold on to my dignity as a human being. The boss nodded his head in response. Little did he know, I'd secretly recorded our entire conversation and sent the audio file straight to the police.